Good evening. He was the target of a massive manhunt.
An accused killer linked to deadly home invasions terrorizing citizens in Middle Tennessee. Kirby Wallace was armed and dangerous, and he remained on the run for nearly 2 weeks.
So how did he do it? Tonight in a News Channel 5 exclusive, Nick Barris looks at how Wallace managed to stay one step ahead of police.
Make no mistake, Kirby Wallace was a serious threat, wanted for 2 murders, arson, and violent home invasions. Citizens were locking their doors and arming themselves, fearful that he might strike again. It all began September 23rd after a home invasion in Stewart County that left a woman, Brenda Smith, dead. 4 days later, another home invasion and a stolen car in Montgomery County. People were scared.
You worry when you're sleeping, he could break it. I mean, there's a lot of windows around the house.
The manhunt made national headlines and stretched on for days. Dozens and dozens of officers methodically searched a wooded area over 2 counties, but simply could not find Wallace. Finally, 12 days later, deputies took him into custody.
They done a heck of a good job. They kept on. They was relentless, and they kept on until they caught him.
A job well done, but later even law enforcement had to wonder, how did Wallace manage to avoid capture for nearly 2 weeks?
He was just constant moving. He just moved constantly.
But there was much more to it. Wallace has shared some of his secrets now since his capture. He says he did remain on the move, but only at night, sleeping during the day. In fact, Stewart County Sheriff Frankie Gray says Wallace often awoke to find search teams passing just a few feet from where he was hiding.
He told me he saw, many times he saw cars, patrol cars passing by.
And this is interesting. Wallace spotted trail cameras and knew he was caught on video in the woods. He figured authorities would check, so he'd intentionally walk one direction on camera. Then he'd double back undercover, going the other way, all in an effort to lead officers in the wrong direction. He also made a point of staying close to any deer. When they were spooked, he knew someone was coming, and he hid.
Searching around over here, they're searching low.
And authorities also searched high from the air. But Wallace had a camouflage netting. He'd hear the chopper and hide under the netting in the brush. For much of the time, Wallace survived on little more than creek water and acorns, though police do think he may have had a stash of food, clothing, and weapons hidden somewhere in the woods. There's also the possibility Wallace had some help, though there is still no evidence of that.
I feel like he may have got some assistance. What that might be, I don't want to say, but I think he's got some assistance.
What's interesting is that Wallace stole 2 cars during his time on the run, and he had ample opportunity to simply drive somewhere far away. But for whatever reason, he chose to stay put in the Indian Mound area of Stewart County, and it was just a matter of time until he was caught. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Nick, thanks. Wallace's case is now in the hands of a grand jury. He's expected to be indicted on charges of first-degree felony murder, among others. Prosecutors could seek the death penalty.